Good day, my friends. So for this video, we will be discussing all about the difference of the sum and sum if function, and of course their applications in doing our project with Microsoft Excel. No? Okay, so without further ado, let's start our Microsoft Excel video tutorial. Okay, so currently we are here on Microsoft Excel, and I have here the raw data that we will be using for our tutorial regarding the difference of sum and sum if function. So first, let's discuss first the sum. So basically, mathematically speaking, when we say sum, this is the totality of all the numbers when they are going into addition, of course. So basically, let's try to, before having the sum function, let's try to manually add this number under the column A. So we have here 12 plus 34 plus 56 plus 78 plus 90 plus 12 plus 34 plus 56 plus 78 plus 90. And click the button enter. Upon entering, the answer is 540. So come to think at this, my friends. Imagine we have hundreds of thousands of data that needs to be summed. It is very tedious on our part, actually, if we were going to have this type of formula of the computation or manually inputting each cell after the plus sign. That's very tedious, right? So that's why we have the function sum or the formula using the sum. How it is working. So basically, let's try to have our active cell on A12, cell A12. Let's try having equal sign, then sum. Okay, actually, MS Excel has already a built-in formula for sum or function for sum. Just click this and highlight all the numbers coming from cell A2 up to cell A11. So meaning, as you can see on this upper part of our Microsoft Excel window, it says equal sum A2 to A11. Then we must close this formula, meaning to say it will be added all the numbers that are highlighted. Okay, I hope you get it. Then click the enter button. Upon clicking, the answer must be equal to this, which is 540. Okay, so let's click enter. Okay, so we're good. No, I hope you get it. That's basically how the sum function works. So 540. Now, the difference of sum function versus the sum if function is that there is an additional if. Okay, so there is an if, meaning if is actually a condition. So conditional statement, that's the meaning of if. So for this example, let's have our condition here. It says here that we should sum all the numbers that is less than 40. Upon checking, let's try to have the numbers less than 40. Using the sum function only. So let's try to sum. Not yet the sum if, guys. So just sum all the numbers less than 40. 34, okay, that is added, comma. We will be using comma if we are adding up a cells or a values or a numbers that is not consecutive, just like this one. 34 and 56 is not actually included in our conditions. That's why we used comma. Then 67 not again included. 34 included. 23 included, 21, 8, 34, 12, and 11. They are all included. So meaning the only excluded numbers here are the numbers 56 and 67. Okay, so click the enter, 177. So now, we must use the function sum if, and our answer must be the same with this one, which is 177. Okay, so let's try to have the function sum if. Just first input equals, then sum if. So click sum if here. Sum if, it says here that sum if we have the range, criteria, and sum range. Okay, so first the range. The range is actually referring to the group of number or group of data array or data set that we are going to apply the function SUMIF. In our case, that is the column B, no, coming from the B2 cell up to the B11. Okay, so that is the range. Now, criteria. The criteria, based on our condition, we should sum all those numbers that is less than 40. So now, the formula must be equal SUMIF, then the range. For the criteria, we must have on our criteria apostrophe, just like before on COUNTIF function that we have tackled. By the way, if you don't watch that video, you can check it on our playlist section of our YouTube channel. So we have here apostrophe less than 40 and close it with apostrophe. Okay, now it says here that we should have our third parameter, which is sum range. For the sum range, guys, it is just the same for this range, because actually this sum range is used if we are dealing with two or more columns of data which is subject to the SUMIF function. In our case, we only deal with single column, which is the SUMIF function will be applied also on the range which is specified here already. No, the range specified already is B2 up to B11, meaning to say the sum range is equals to the range. It is just the same. So let's highlight this again, and we can now close our formula. Okay, then click the enter. Okay, so 177, meaning to say it is actually better to have this type of formula rather than this one, because this is very tedious and this is actually not that automated somehow, because you are the human is the one who is deciding on what values or what cells are going to be summed. Not just like this, that we are using the function SUMIF, and the Excel itself is deciding on what cells or what values are it going to be summed. I hope you get it. That's the difference between the sum and SUMIF function. Alright? Okay, for you to be able to grasp the knowledge regarding the SUMIF function, I have prepared here the different conditions, of course, and of course the raw data that we will be dealing with regarding the SUMIF function. So we have here the data. Let's try to have first the boxes for all the borders that we will be needing. Okay, so we have here the data category, food, sales. For the category, we have vegetable, fruits, blank, meaning for this row, which is the food is butter, it is not included in any of the available category. Okay, so vegetable and fruits. For the food, tomato, celery, orange, butter, carrots, and apple. For the sales, 2,300, 5,500, 800, 400, 4,200, and 1,200. Okay, this is the condition given by our statement. So for the first condition, all of these conditions, by the way, we will be using the SUMIF to solve all those conditions. Okay, so total sales of fruits. So this is where we should use the SUMIF function on getting the total sales of all those foods or all those categories involved under the fruits category. Alright, I hope you get it. So the answer should be 2,000. Let's have here first comma so that we will be formal. Okay, so 2,000 is the answer. So let's try to have it. Okay, so let's have equals SUMIF. So what will be the range of the SUMIF? Of course, the range will be this one, the category, because the total sales that we are going to sum is all the fruits, and fruits is under a category column. I hope you get it. Next, criteria. The criteria must be fruits. So take note again, just like on the count and COUNTIF tutorial on our previous video before, it is actually very, very concerned with the capitalization or undercapitalization of our letters, just like this one. If you put here fruits, it will give you an error, or not just an error, but rather a wrong answer, because the fruits here the first letter, letter F, is actually capitalized. So take note of that, my friends. So let's have here fruits and apostrophe. For the sum range, this is actually what I'm referring to before on our previous example, because on our previous example, as you can see here, we are just dealing with single column. Now, we are dealing with 3 columns, which are the category, food, and sales. So, meaning to say, our sum range for now will be the sales, because that will be the column where we will be getting our values to be summed. I hope you get it. So, let's try to have, again, the answer should be 2,000. Okay, so let's click the button enter. Alright, so 2,000. Again, let's have here a comma so that we will be look more professional. So let's try to have here. Okay, next, total sales of vegetables. So almost the same with what we have done here. So let's have sum if, then let's click here. Then criteria, of course, it will be vegetable. So take note again for the spelling and capitalization, vegetables. Okay, then comma, the sum range. Our sum range will be this column. Okay, from M2 going to M7, and close parentheses, enter, that must be 12,000. Okay, so it's just the same. Next, here guys, somehow this is somehow different from 2 conditions here. The third condition is that we should now get the total sales of foods, not category, take note, of foods, letter L column, of foods with ES on last part, meaning those foods are tomatoes, ES, celery not included, oranges included because it has ES on its last part of the spelling. Butter and carrots not included, apples included. Okay, so on last part, the result should be 4,300. So how we are going to do that? So first, let's have our equal sign, then some if. Okay, then now the range will not be the category anymore. The range now will be the food, because that is actually the condition that we are trying to do on this third condition. Okay, so I hope you get it. For the criteria, it says that we should get the total sales of all the foods with ES on the last part of their spelling. Okay, so for that, just have apostrophe, then asterisk. Asterisk means you're getting the last part of the spelling of each words indicated on these cells. Okay, so ES, then apostrophe again, then use comma, then the sum range. For the sum range, this will be our sum range, the sales, and close it with close parentheses. The answer should be 4,300. Okay, so let's click the button enter. Alright, so this just the same, meaning we are correct. Don't forget it, guys. Okay, for the last condition, total sales of no category, which is no category here. Actually, it is really blank. I really intended for this cell K5 to be blank for this one, for this last condition. Okay, so what does it mean? We should get, imagine this is not only the cell that don't have any category. Imagine we have 5, 10, or 20 cells that don't have category, and we should get the sales of those food that belongs to no category. That doesn't belong to any of those given category. Alright, so for us to be able to do that, of course, just like before, click equal sign, then sum if. So sum if our range will be here. Even that we are referring to no category, the no category or the blank cells is still included under the category column or the column K. That's why our range is the column K and not the column L. I hope you get it. For the criteria, since we are not looking for any letters here, it will be now a double apostrophe. Now, without any letters, okay, oops, I got some button. Okay, without any letters in between. No, so we should delete this. So this means that we are referring to a cell which is blank. No, that is our criteria. Okay, so for the sum range is still the sales. We should get the sales, which is actually, as you can see on our table, the blank cell is corresponding to 400, which is just the same on the results should be column here, 400. Okay, so meaning if we click the button enter, it should be 400. So let's see. Alright, so meaning we are correct. So that's basically the difference of sum and sum if. We have just focused on our sum if because it is more tricky compared to sum. Anyway, I hope you get it, my friends, and I hope you learned something from this video tutorial. If you learned something, just don't forget to click the like, share, and subscribe also to this channel. Okay? So don't forget to share also this video to your friends, especially if they are into learning Microsoft Excel. Okay, so thank you for watching and see you on our next upload. Keep safe always. Bye-bye.